Welcome to Language Swap, everyone, a fun way to learn English. We are so excited to have you join us today.
Sally, what do you think if today we talk about what you really need to do to change your life? Because so many people talk about it, but not many actually explain what it takes.
That's totally true. Honestly, changing something you don't like usually means leaving your comfort zone, and that part alone stops most people before they even start. Alex, do you have a story to share about that?
I do, actually. About 3 years ago, I had to change something, and it wasn't dramatic at all, which honestly surprised me at the time.
Now I have to know what happened.
It's about the 3 years it took me to actually change my health and how boring most of it actually was.
Boring is such an unexpected word for a transformation story.
That's exactly the point. But first, hey everyone, welcome back. I'm Alex.
And I'm Sally. And today's episode is called The Uncomfortable Truth About Changing Your Life, because real change almost never looks like the version we see online.
This one's level B1 to B2. And if you've ever started something big, quit, and quietly blamed yourself for not having enough willpower, this episode is genuinely for you.
And if you're a little below that level, stay with us anyway. The story alone is worth following.
Quick favor before we start. If you're enjoying the podcast, please like this episode and subscribe. It genuinely helps more people find us.
Okay, let's actually get into it now. Take me back to the beginning. What actually started this whole 3-year thing?
Honestly, nothing dramatic at all. I went to a routine doctor's visit, got some numbers back that weren't emergency level bad, just quietly heading in a direction I didn't like.
So no dramatic wake-up call, no single scary moment.
None at all, which I think surprises people. I expected some big emotional turning point, and instead I just felt a kind of low-grade concern and decided to start walking most mornings.
Just walking. Nothing more intense than that at first.
Just walking, actually, for months. 20 minutes most mornings. Nothing that would make an interesting video or an impressive before and after post.
Did you notice any real difference in that first stretch?
Almost nothing. Honestly, the scale barely moved. My energy felt roughly the same. If anything, I was more tired those first few weeks, since my body wasn't used to any of it yet.
That's such an unglamorous way to start something people usually imagine as this huge, motivated leap.
It really was unglamorous. That's exactly the right word. There was no music playing in my head, no montage, just tired mornings and mild annoyance most days.
Did you keep the walking going consistently, though, even without seeing results?
Mostly yes, though I missed plenty of mornings too. More than I'd like to admit. Some weeks I'd skip 4 out of 7 days and just quietly start again the next week without making a big deal of it.
I think that detail matters a lot, actually. People imagine transformation as unbroken discipline, when really it's often just returning again and again after breaking the streak.
Exactly that. I stopped treating missed days as failure at some point and just treated them as, well, missed days. Nothing more dramatic than that.
What changed after those first few unremarkable months?
Around month 4 or 5, I started adding basic strength training. Still nothing intense, just consistent. Small sessions a few times a week.
Did that feel like a turning point at the time?
Not even slightly, honestly. It just felt like one more thing to fit into an already busy week. I remember being annoyed some evenings, genuinely not wanting to go.
What kept you going on those specific evenings when you clearly didn't want to?
I think mostly just not wanting to have to start completely over again later. Restarting always felt harder than just continuing, even reluctantly.
I want to bring up the sacrifice piece too, actually, since I know this took real space in your life for years.
It genuinely did. Evenings I could have spent differently. Some social plans I skipped because I was tired from a session or needed to prepare food instead of ordering out with friends.
Did that ever feel like too much to give up at any point?
Multiple times, honestly, especially around the 1-year mark. I remember specifically skipping a weekend trip with friends because I'd committed to a specific training block that week and I genuinely resented it a little in the moment.
Did you regret that choice afterward?
Not really looking back now, but in the moment, it felt like a real loss. An actual memory I was choosing not to have for the sake of something with absolutely no guaranteed payoff yet.
That's such an honest thing to admit, actually, since most transformation stories skip straight past that resentment part.
I think that's exactly why they don't feel real to people. The version people usually hear skips the boring middle and the actual resentment and jumps straight to the after picture.
When did you finally start noticing an actual shift then?
Genuinely, I can't point to one single day. That's the strangest part of this whole thing. Honestly, there wasn't a mirror moment, no single dramatic realization.
So how did you eventually realize something had actually changed?
I was doing something completely ordinary, climbing a few flights of stairs quickly, and realized afterward I hadn't even thought about my breathing. It used to be something I'd notice immediately, and this time it just wasn't there to notice.
And that's when it actually hit you.
That's when it hit me, looking backward, the same way you described with your own story before. I stood there afterward thinking about every unremarkable morning walk, every reluctant evening session, and realized they'd actually added up to something real.
That's such a specific kind of realization, noticing an absence instead of a presence.
Exactly that, actually. It wasn't look how strong I feel. It was wait, I didn't notice something I used to always notice. The change showed up as something missing, not something added.
I think that's genuinely the uncomfortable truth hiding inside this whole topic. Actually, the same one we keep circling back to. Change doesn't announce itself while it's actually happening.
Completely that. You only really see the shape of it once you're already standing somewhere different, looking back at where you started.
I want to bring up something else too, actually, since I think it explains why so many people quit right before that exact moment.
What's the thing you're referring to?
If there's no visible proof most days, it's genuinely hard to tell the difference between this isn't working and this is working slowly, in a way I literally cannot feel yet.
Those two situations feel identical from the inside. Honestly, frustrating, invisible, repetitive. The only actual difference is whether you keep showing up or not.
Which means a lot of people probably quit at the exact point where continuing would have finally paid off for them too.
I think that happens constantly. In fitness, in any long-term change. The timing of giving up and the timing of the eventual shift are often painfully close together.
I want to bring up the money and appearance angle too, actually, since I think people assume that's the whole point of a story like this.
It genuinely wasn't the main point for me. No, I didn't do any of this to look a certain way for other people, or to prove anything to anyone watching.
So what was actually driving it, if not appearance or outside validation?
Mostly just wanting to trust my own body a little more. To feel capable in ordinary moments. Stairs, long days, normal life without constantly noticing my own limits.
That's such a quieter kind of motivation than what usually gets shown online.
It really is. And I think that's exactly why it survived the boring years. If I'd been chasing a specific look for other people, I think I would have quit around month 8, when nothing visible was happening yet.
But because it was connected to something you actually wanted for yourself, quitting felt like giving up on yourself, not just abandoning some external project.
Exactly that distinction. It became personal in a way that appearance-based goals often aren't. And that personal connection is what survives the invisible middle part.
I think what your whole story proves, honestly, is that the boring, invisible stretch isn't a sign something's wrong. It's just what real change actually looks like while you're still inside it.
Completely that. Nobody warns you it'll be this unremarkable for this long. But looking back now, every single unglamorous morning actually mattered. Even the ones I almost skipped.
I want to bring up something, actually, because I think a lot of people watch transformation content online and feel worse afterward, not better.
Oh, that's such a real thing, honestly. The compressed version, 30 seconds, dramatic music before and after, makes it look like it happened almost instantly.
So when someone's own 3 years feels slow and boring in comparison, they assume they're doing something wrong.
Exactly. That comparison trap. Nobody posts the 8 months of nothing visible happening. They post the day it finally showed, which makes the whole thing look sudden when it genuinely wasn't.
Do you think that compressed, edited version actually discourages people from starting or from continuing once they're already in it?
Both, honestly, in different ways. It discourages starting because people expect fast results and give up early when reality moves slower. And it discourages continuing because people already in the middle assume they're failing compared to a version that was never real in the first place.
That's such an important distinction, actually. The content isn't lying exactly. It's just missing almost the entire actual timeline.
Completely missing it. 3 years compressed into 30 seconds isn't dishonest. Exactly. But it does erase the one part that would actually help people the most, the boring middle.
Which is exactly what we're trying to hand back to people in this episode, honestly, that missing middle part.
I think that's genuinely the whole point of even telling a story this unglamorous out loud. Not to inspire with drama, but to normalize how ordinary and repetitive real change actually feels while it's happening.
Do you think if you'd seen a story like this back at the start, it would have changed how those first few months felt for you?
Honestly, probably. I think I would have expected less, in a good way, and judged myself less harshly during the stretch where nothing seemed to be happening yet.
Expected less, in a good way. That's such a strange but genuinely useful phrase.
It really is, though, isn't it? Expecting drama sets you up to feel like a failure during the ordinary parts. Expecting boredom actually protects you, oddly enough, and lets you keep going without that extra layer of self-judgment.
All right, let's slow down and go through the important words from today.
Our first word is unglamorous.
Unglamorous. Let's slow that word down.
Unglamorous means not exciting or impressive, often used to describe ordinary effort that doesn't look special from outside.
In today's episode, we talked about the unglamorous mornings that never would have made an impressive video.
You could say most real progress comes from unglamorous, repeated effort.
Or his routine was completely unglamorous, just walking and consistency.
Our next word is reluctant.
Reluctant. An important one today.
Reluctant means unwilling or hesitant to do something, even while still actually doing it.
In today's episode, we talked about showing up reluctantly some evenings, even without wanting to,
You could say I was reluctant to go, but I went anyway.
or reluctant effort still counts, even without full enthusiasm behind it.
Our next word is resent.
Resent? Worth sitting with for a second.
To resent means to feel bitter or annoyed about something, often something you're still choosing to do anyway.
In today's episode, we talked about resenting a skipped trip, even while still believing it was the right choice.
You could say, I resented missing that weekend, even though I don't regret it now.
Or it's normal to resent a sacrifice while you're still making it.
Our next word is invisible.
Invisible, let's break that one down.
Invisible means not able to be seen, often used here for progress that's happening but can't be noticed yet.
In today's episode, we talked about invisible progress being mistaken for no progress at all.
You could say, the change was invisible for months before it finally showed.
Or invisible progress is still progress, even without proof yet.
Our final word is capable.
Capable, our final word for today.
Capable means able to do something, often used to describe confidence in your own ability to handle ordinary situations.
In today's episode, we talked about wanting to feel capable in ordinary moments, not just look a certain way.
You could say, I wanted to feel capable, not just look different.
Or real change often shows up as feeling more capable, quietly, in daily life.
So today's words are unglamorous, reluctant, resent, invisible, and capable.
And they connect perfectly to today's whole message.
Unglamorous, reluctant effort, even resented sometimes, eventually becomes invisible progress.
And that invisible progress is what quietly makes you feel capable long before you can actually see it.
And that takes us right into Say It Better.
This is where we take simple sentences and make them sound more natural and more confident.
First sentence. I didn't want to do it, but I did it anyway.
Honest, but let's sharpen it.
A stronger way to say it would be, I went reluctantly, but showing up mattered more than feeling motivated.
That version names the actual feeling instead of just the outcome.
Next sentence. It wasn't exciting. It was just normal.
True, but a little flat.
A better version would be, the whole process was unglamorous, just ordinary effort repeated for a long time.
That version sounds more specific and more honest.
Next sentence. I was annoyed. I missed that trip.
Relatable, but let's elevate it.
A more natural version would be, I resented missing that trip, even while still believing it was the right decision.
That version holds both feelings at once instead of just the surface annoyance.
Next sentence. Nothing seemed to be happening for a long time.
Simple. Let's build on it.
A stronger version would be, the progress was invisible for a long time, even though something was actually building underneath it.
That version reframes the waiting as active, not empty.
Final sentence. Now I feel stronger and more confident.
Nice, but a little generic.
A more precise version would be, I finally feel capable in ordinary moments without constantly noticing my own limits.
That version sounds like a real lived experience, not just a general claim.
And that's a good place to end. Say it better.
On showing up reluctantly again and again.
On trusting progress you genuinely cannot see.
On feeling capable quietly before anyone else ever notices.
Okay, before we wrap up, here's something to actually do this week. Not just think about.
Think of one thing you've been doing consistently with absolutely no visible proof yet that it's working.
And instead of asking, is this working? Ask yourself, am I still willing to show up reluctantly without proof one more time?
Because that question matters more than any result you can currently see.
Nobody sees the shape of their own change while they're still standing inside it.
Tell us in the comments, what's one unglamorous, boring habit you're quietly building right now?
Keep it real. Keep it specific.
If today's episode gave you permission to keep going through one more unremarkable day, share it with someone stuck in their own invisible middle right now.
And if you've ever compared your own slow progress to someone else's edited, compressed highlight reel, you're in genuinely excellent company.
That comparison happens to almost everyone, honestly, especially now with so many transformation stories showing up shortened and polished online.
I think the real gift you can give yourself this week isn't dramatic motivation. It's just permission to be boring, consistently, without needing it to look impressive to anyone else yet.
Boring and consistent, quietly, is genuinely how almost every real change actually happens, whether it's fitness, language, or anything else worth building.
I think that might genuinely be the most useful thing we've said all episode, actually. Nobody needs to be impressive today. They just need to show up again, one more time.
One more reluctant morning, one more unglamorous session, one more day of progress nobody else can see yet.
That's genuinely enough. It always has been, even when it never felt like it in the moment. Thanks so much for listening, everyone.
We'll see you in the next episode.